I looked on the internet for any information on how to install a AEM short ram intake on a 97 Toyota 4Runner. I did not find anything, so I decided to make my own video, and hopefully someone will come along and make a better one, as I am an amateur at both video and auto mechanics. So bear with me, hope it helps. Enjoy. Anytime you work on electronics on your car, you should disconnect the negative battery terminal. I'll do that now. You can see that I disconnected the negative battery terminal and tied it up and out of the way so it won't make contact inadvertently. What I'll do is take the AEM manual and follow it step by step. If I see anything that deviates from the manual, I'll point it out and try to guide clarification to it.
Okay, first step is disconnect the MAF, mass airflow meter connector. Push down on this tab here. While pushing down, pull it out both ends. There it is, disconnected. Next step refers to an IAT sensor. That stands for intake air temperature. I have none. If you did, it would be plugged in right here. I'm going to skip that step and I'm going to go to the next step, which is loosen the hose clamp here, loosen the hose clamp here, and I'm going to remove this rubber intake piece. Okay, remove the inlet hose. Here's what it looks like. It's this ugly looking hose with this resonator stuck on the bottom.
Okay, now that I've removed the first stage, I'm removing a lot of clutter from the engine. It's going to reveal the exhaust manifold gasket clearly. Because this model is prone to have cracked exhaust manifolds, you want to catch it early so you don't have to replace burnt exhaust valves. And you really want to catch it early and stay on it. It's going to enable you to do that. You're also going to be able to put headers on and have access to the lower components from the engine compartment. Very cool. Step is to remove the second stage of the air intake. I've taken the vacuum hose here from the mass airflow sensor. I'm going to remove this big canister, and I'm going to do that by removing two bolts underneath that canister. They're 12 millimeter bolts and they lie horizontally underneath. You need a slight extension to take them out. There's my cruise control, and I'm going to reach under there, loosen them up, pull the bracket off, have access to it. Got to remove the vacuum hose there, it's important. And going to remove this 5/8 inch tube from the stock manifold. I'm going to replace that on the AEM manifold later. The supply tube's the right length. Okay, the next part's a little tricky. Now, remove the 5/8 vacuum tube from the throttle body to the intake. Now, this black canister here on top, I got to get underneath it and get to those two bolts that lay horizontally and remove them to remove the second stage of that air intake. I'm going to get under here and zoom, and right below the black canister, not the two manifold bolts sitting close together, but right underneath, you can see, if the lighting's right, two 12 millimeter bolts that are about 8 inches apart. Got to loosen those up. I'm going to be able to pull off the canister once I do that. Okay, now you can see here I was successful in removing the second air canister. Got under there, removed the two bolts, took the bolts out, replaced them right back where they were so I wouldn't lose them if I have to reinstall the factory system for smog purposes. And you can see now I have good access to it. There's the vacuum hose I took out, there's the 5/8 inch tube I removed, there's the mass airflow sensor circuitry, there's the mass airflow sensor vacuum tube. Now I'm going to take out the stock air box. It connects in three places. There, and there. Pretty easy to do. Get rid of that bulky crap, and I'm on my way. Good time to service the throttle body. Use some carb or throttle body cleaner. Spray it in there. Run it, clean it out since you have good access to it. Good time to do that little bit of maintenance since when you bolt it up it's going to be difficult to get to. Now you can see the access I have to my exhaust manifold. I can monitor its health often. Very helpful to be able to do that. After cleaning the throttle body, now I've mounted the AEM intake using the 2.75 with the 44 clamp, and then I put the air intake using a 3-inch 48 hose clamp, mounted the intake manifold to it. Make sure that you don't tighten everything down. Keep it really loose so you can adjust it and get it seated right. I've got the vacuum nipple installed there. I'm going to plug the vacuum hose into that. It's pretty obvious where that goes. Then on the other side is the 5/8 inch breather from the throttle body. That goes in with the factory clamps. And you can see that the air intake is situated about where it's going to end up. Again, don't tighten it up because you're going to modify it.
Okay, now finally here's the finished product. That's how it's supposed to look. A couple things the manual doesn't explain very clearly. On the back here, there is a 5/8 inch tube that goes around and under the throttle body to, I don't know if I could zoom in here, I'll try it, to connect. Unfortunately, there's not enough light. Anyways, the 5/8 inch nipple directly under the throttle by the difficulty there. That's probably the hardest part of the installation, is getting under there, your hands between all the wires, pulling it onto the breather tube and setting the factory clamp. Very tight. I suggest using some needle nose pliers or vice grips to hold the clamp down. Soap up the hose, work it on, put the clamp in a way that you could grab it for a later reverse or installation. The breather tube goes up and around these wires as opposed to the old shape tube that meandered through there and connected. Very difficult to do. The second part wasn't very well explained. This anchor here, using the soft grommet, if you put it in the location that they say, it's very difficult to mount the MAF sensor adapter to it. So I used a drill bit, drilled a new hole, and secured it in a natural location. I could not get it to fit to that grommet using the existing parts. And I think mainly because this reducer coupler is not large enough to accommodate the tube deep enough to bring this to line up. So anyway, modifications, that was the only one. Starts better, quicker, seems to have more power, cool sound, full installation right there. Good luck with you guys. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, and here's the end result right here. You can hear it sounds a little bit different.
Okay, here's a still picture of the finished product. I thought it included just to answer any questions you might have. And in good lighting, I started in daylight. Now it's dark. It took me about 2 hours, but I did a careful job, took breaks, tried to enjoy it. So don't get frustrated. Just take a break if you do, and I think you'll really appreciate the improvements, and have a great time. I did. Thanks. Bye.